You ever get that gut feeling that something isn't right? Like the universe is whispering that the person you love the most is hiding something. That's exactly what happened to me. And I wish to God I had been wrong. My name's Ethan. I'm a 29-year-old guy from the US, and until recently, I thought I was living the dream. I had been dating Lily, 27, for almost 5 years. We lived together, shared bills, built routines, and even had a running Pinterest board for our future wedding. Everyone thought we were the perfect couple. Hell, I thought we were the perfect couple. But perfect has a way of rotting from the inside. It started small. Lily's phone was suddenly always face down. Her girls' nights became more frequent. Skay changed her lock screen password, something she hadn't done in years. When I asked about it, she brushed me off, saying she just wanted privacy. I didn't push because I didn't want to be that boyfriend. Then came the late-night showers. At first, I thought maybe she was just stressed from work. But when you come home at 1 a.m. smelling like cologne, that definitely isn't yours. A shower doesn't wash away suspicion. The breaking point came one Friday night. She told me she was staying late at work to finish a project. Normally, I wouldn't have thought twice, but something in me snapped. I drove to her office building. The parking lot was nearly empty, but I spotted her car. My heart pounded as I waited, hidden. 30 minutes later, Lily walked out not alone. She was with her coworker, a guy named Derek who I had met once at a holiday party. They didn't see me, but I saw everything. Him holding her hand, her leaning into him, laughing in that way I thought was mine. Then the kiss. Long, passionate, like the kind of kiss you save for someone. Can't wait to get home with. I swear my whole body went cold. My stomach dropped as if I had been punched. My mind was screaming, but my body couldn't move. The love of my life kissing another manite broke something inside me I don't think I'll ever get back. I didn't confront her that night. Instead, I drove home in silence, numb. My hands shook the whole way, and I had to pull over twice, just to breathe. When she finally walked in hours later, smelling like work, she kissed my cheek like nothing was wrong. And I almost lost it right there. But I stayed quiet because I needed a plan. It's because part of me needed proof. It's because maybe I was hoping I was wrong. The next morning, I installed a hidden recording app on an old phone and tucked it in the living room where she usually made her late-night private calls. What I captured over the next week shattered me. Rehook could go here in later parts, depending on pacing. And that's when I realized I hadn't just been lied to, I'd been played like a fool for months. The recordings didn't just confirm my fears, they amplified them. I caught her whispering late at night, giggling and saying things like, "I can't wait to see you again, and don't worry, Ethan has no idea." Each word was like a blade twisting deeper. One night I recorded something that ended any hope of denial. Lily told Derek, "He's too naive. He still thinks I'm working late. If only he knew what I was doing in the office after hours with you." She laughed and he laughed too. That laughter haunts me. I didn't sleep. I didn't eat. I just replayed those recordings over and over, torturing myself with proof. Finally, I knew I couldn't keep silent any longer. I decided to confront her on a Sunday morning when she couldn't run to work as an excuse. I set up my phone camera on the kitchen counter hidden, of course, because some part of me wanted everything documented. If she was going to burn our relationship down, I wanted to have the ashes in my hands. She walked in wearing her favorite hoodie, hair messy, holding coffee like she hadn't just destroyed my world. I looked at her and felt my chest ache. Could she look so innocent? I asked calmly. "So, how was work with Derek?" The way her face drained of color told me everything. She froze, her coffee trembling in her hands. Then she stammered, "What are you talking about?" I pulled out my phone and pressed play. Her own voice filled the kitchen. "He's too naive. He has no idea." Her coffee cup slipped from her hand and shattered across the floor. "Lily," I said, barely holding my voice steady, "how long has this been going on?" She started crying instantly, putting on that I'm the victim performance she always used when caught in a lie. It wasn't serious, she sobbed. It was just, I don't know, I made a mistake. Please, Ethan. It didn't mean anything. Didn't mean anything. I wanted to scream. I wanted to tear the walls down. Instead, I stayed calm. Too calm. That scared her more than yelling ever could. I asked again, how long? After a long pause, she whispered, almost a year. A year, 12 months of lies. Do you know how? Insane it feels to realize that your entire timeline of memories is tainted. Birthdays, holidays, anniversaries, all of it. Contaminated. I told her to pack her things. She dropped to her knees, begging, grabbing my hand, crying so hard she couldn't breathe. But I didn't budge. I felt like a ghost watching someone. Elsa's life. As she left the apartment with a suitcase, she turned and asked, so that's it? You're just giving up on us. I laughed bitterly. No, Lily, you gave up on us a long time ago. I'm just catching up. When the door closed, the silence was deafening. I sank onto the couch and finally let myself break down. For hours, I cried until there were no tears left. But what I didn't know was that this story wasn't over. Not even close. Rehook could hit here for suspense because 2 weeks later, Nirik himself showed up at my door with a story that turned everything upside down. 2 weeks after Lily left, I was still trying to piece myself back together. The apartment felt haunted. Every corner reminded me of her. It's a dent in the couch where she always sat. It's a coffee mug she collected. Even the playlist on my phone made me sick. Then one night, around 9 p.m., there was a knock at my door. When I opened it, I nearly slammed it shut again. It was Derek. The man who blew my life apart stood there looking destroyed. His hair was messy, his clothes wrinkled, and he had that hollow-eyed look of someone who hadn't slept in days. I snapped. You've got 5 seconds to explain why the hell you're on my doorstep. He raised his hands and said, Ethan, please, cheer me out. I didn't know she was still with you. That made me laugh. A bitter, ugly laugh. You didn't know? She told you herself? I had no idea. He shook his head. She told me you two were basically over. She said you were just roommates at this point. She made me believe she was single. I swear, man, I never would have touched her if I'd known. At first, I thought he was full of it. But then he pulled out his phone and showed me screenshots. Messages from Lily, spinning a web of lies. Ethan and I barely talk anymore. We're not intimate. Tits basically dead. I'm waiting for the right time to leave. My stomach dropped. Not because I believed her lies, but because I realized how deeply manipulative she was. She wasn't just cheating on Mish. She was lying to both of us. Derek sighed. Look, I'm done with her. I blocked her. I thought you deserved to know the truth. After he left, I sat in silence for a long time. For the first time since the breakup. I didn't feel anger toward Derek. I felt pity. We were both victims of the same liar. That night, I packed every last reminder of Lily into boxes. The mugs, the photos, the stupid throw pillows she insisted on buying. I drove to her sister's place and dropped them on the porch with a note. Return. To sender. The next morning, I woke up lighter, like cutting those ties had finally given me room to breathe again. Fast forward 6 months. I started therapy, hit the gym, and reconnected with old friends I had drifted from. The pain didn't vanish overnight, but slowly I started feeling like me again. The last I heard, Lily tried to crawl back into my life with some half-assed apology text. I didn't reply. Instead, I deleted her number, her photos, her existence from my phone. Because here's the truth. When someone shows you who they really are, believe them the first time. And Lily, she showed me, loud and clear.